Okay, in this tutorial we're going to learn how to make the base for our chess pieces. Now, I think what I want to do today, instead of just showing you how to use a tool, today I'm going to show you how to basically cheat. Alright, I want you guys to do this quickly and easily without putting in a whole ton of effort. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into Google and we're going to do an image search, and I just did an image search for the word pawn. Now, really important thing I want to do is I want to get a picture of a pawn that's mostly from the front. Now, here's a good one right here I think I can use. Actually, this one here is a little smaller. I think I'm going to like that one better. So I'm going to click on it. And I think the full-size image isn't too bad in terms of size. I'm going to go File, Save Picture As, Pawn. Now, very important you pick one that is of the appropriate size and is mostly a front-on view. Alright, so I'm going to close this guy down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here in the top view. You should always draw things from the top view. But I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to put in the background, and click over here, this guy Mandrill. And in the background, I am going to put my documents, my pictures, and I'm going to put this picture of the pawn in the background. Okay, I'm going to click on the trash barrel to close that. Now, if you were to actually run to the scene, you'd see the pawn, but the problem is I want to be able to trace it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go down here, and there's a tool here which doesn't show because it should be popping up. But if you click on File and bring down to Display Options, this box here pops up. And this picture here, if you mouse over, it says Show Background. So I'm going to click on that. And now suddenly my background is showing up. Now, one thing you do have to be aware of is it's going to be distorted because that picture was a little bit, so I'm going to kind of drag it over this way so it's a little bit more realistic in shape. It doesn't really matter that much because we can always change the shape later. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually trace this because the most efficient way of doing this is to lathe it. So, I'm going to click up here at the top, down, then out, and I want to curve it up a little bit. And then down, up, loop it in, bring it out, in, and I'm going to cross over. Now remember, this is going to be the lathe tool, so I don't really have to create both sides. I just have to create what a cross section of the guy is going to look like. I'm going to click over here. Now this is just like the lathe assignment I showed you with the rocket ship tutorial. I'm going to click over here down in the corner, and I'm going to select the top face, select this. Now I go back down here over sweep to the lathe tool. Now one of the things you notice, once again, if you look down here in the front view, you can see that it's actually 270. I have to change this to 360. And then the other thing you may notice is that the axis is actually way over here. So I'm going to need to take that and rotate it around. If you can see it moving right now, I'm going to move it so that it rotates over here. Now the other thing is, if you can see that little blue line there, that blue line has to be in the exact center of the pawn. It's close, but it's not perfect, so I'm going to push it out a little bit more. And then all I have to do is hit the lathe tool. And now it creates that object in perspective. Now I'm going to take this guy, click on the white arrow, and I'm going to stand it up. Right click. Let's make it 0 degrees on the x-axis. Whoops, that's wrong. Let's go 180. Alright, now, as I look at this, I have to tell you, I personally think that this guy is a little bit too fat. Okay, it's not thin enough, and it's not tall enough. There's a very easy way of fixing this. Under size, I'm just going to make the size bigger. I'm going to make it taller. So let's make it its height about, say, 12. Boom. And if you take a look at that, that looks a little bit more like the pawn that we just created. I actually think I want to make it a little skinnier too, so I'm going to make it 9 by 9. Remember, both x and y's have to be the same, and that's beginning to look a little bit more like what I'm looking for. Okay, it's not perfect. I think looking at it myself, I think I might want to try it again to see if I can get something that comes a little bit closer, but you get the drift of what we're trying to accomplish.